Ladies and gentlemen, the Philip Morris Playhouse on Broadway. Tonight, the Philip Morris Playhouse on Broadway presents the Philip Morris Intercollegiate Acting Competition. Tonight's vehicle, Crime and Punishment, starring Charlton Heston with Everett Sloane and presenting college star number 10, Julia Montrond of Hunter College.
Ho for Philip Morris! Ho for Philip Morris!
Ladies and gentlemen, smoke for pleasure today with no cigarette hangover tomorrow. That's the big advantage you enjoy in Philip Morris. Remember, Philip Morris is made differently from any other leading brand. And that difference is your guarantee of everything you've ever wanted in a cigarette. Tasty mildness, rich flavor, pleasant aroma, a clean, refreshing smoke, and no cigarette hangover. So... you'll be glad tomorrow you smoked Philip Morris today. Ladies and gentlemen, your host and our producer-director of the Philip Morris Playhouse on Broadway, Charles Martin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a Broadway welcome to contestant number 10, Julia Montrond of Hunter College.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I shall play the part of Sonia.
Miss Montrond, for your debut on the Philip Morris Playhouse on Broadway, you will have as your co-star one of the most exciting stars in all America, Mr. Charlton Heston, supported by Everett Sloane in the great classic Crime and Punishment. As you know, the judges of our competition will be ANTA, the American National Theater and Academy. The ANTA representatives, headed by Christian Westphalen and Lewis Allen, are seated right here in our audience. Now, if you receive a higher rating than the current high of 93, scored by Shirley Zaub of Brooklyn College last week, you will go into the $2,000 grand prize play next week, August 31st. My best wishes to you, and on with the show.
The story of Crime and Punishment is eternal, timeless. When this masterpiece was written, it was about a certain group of people. But it could happen today. It could happen anywhere on Earth. Because it is the story of man in conflict with good and evil. It begins in a bleak and run-down rooming house.
Who is it?
It's your landlady. Open up.
Just a minute.
Well, Mr. Raskolnikov, sitting here in your room instead of looking for work?
I'm writing a book, Mrs. Vodney.
Oh, really? What's it about?
It's called The Justification of Crime.
Justification of crime? You better write an article on why you haven't paid the rent these past 3 months.
You'll get your money.
Remember, I hold an IOU from you for $100. You pay your rent, or I'll see that you're thrown out on the streets, and you pay it tonight. Oh, here's a letter for you just came. Girlfriend?
From my sister.
Sister? I didn't think your kind had a sister. I thought you just appeared from some garbage.
Get out, you horrible old hag! My dearest brother Rodion, 2 months have gone by since I received your last letter, which has distressed me
very much. The $50 we sent you 4 months ago, we borrowed from Basil Lucian, a manufacturer in this town. Basil Lucian has proposed marriage to me, and I have accepted. It's true that Basil Lucian is 50 years old, and I am only 20, but Mother says I will be happier with security instead of love. At least you will not starve, dear brother. God be with you till we meet
again. Your loving sister. Poor little Dunio. What a pitiful gesture. No, I can't let her. I can't. I'll pawn everything I own first. Good afternoon. I'm looking for the pawnbroker.
You'll have to wait your turn. Can't you see there's someone ahead of you? Or is she with you?
No, I'm alone.
Well, girlie, talk up. What you got to show me?
I brought you this crucifix.
Crucifix? What are you doing with a crucifix? Where'd you steal it?
You say that about everything I bring here.
Why shouldn't I? Look who brings them.
This belonged to my mother.
What do you want for this?
Those are real stones.
Really? That's what your mother told you.
Yes, and it's worth at least $100.
Your mother lied.
Please don't say that about my mother. You don't even know her.
I don't have to know her. I could look at you and tell you all about her. I'll give you $10 for it.
$10?
Wait a minute. There's a stone missing. I'll give you $6. Take it or leave it.
Give me the money, please.
There you are. Shouldn't even have given you that much for it.
Goodbye.
Come on, little gutter snipe. Well, what have you got, mister?
A watch.
Let's see it.
Here?
There's an inscription. To my son on his birthday from father. Sentimental.
I want $75 for it.
I'll give you 20.
20? But it's solid gold. So's the band.
Is that so? Well, take your watch and try someplace else.
Oh, give me the money. Let me get out of here before
Before what?
Before I get sick looking at you. What did you lose, miss?
$1. It dropped out of my hand when she pushed me out of the door.
Somebody ought to push her straight into the next world.
You shouldn't say things like that.
Here it is. I found it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're so kind.
Why is it that all women weep when they're happy?
I'm not happy. I need the money. Very much.
Everybody needs money. What is your particular reason?
My father was killed in an accident yesterday. We need the money for the funeral.
Oh, I see. I'm terribly sorry.
I don't look for sympathy. I'd better go now.
No, wait a minute. Would you take this money? It isn't much. Only $20, but I'm sure you could use it more than I.
Oh, no, please. I couldn't take your money. Why, you must need it, or else you wouldn't have gone to the pawn shop.
No, she gave me $100 for my watch, so you can see I can spare 20 of it.
There's still some kindness left in the world, isn't there?
Yes, and beauty, too. What is your name?
Sonia,
I am Rodion. May I escort you home?
if you like.
Well, you got the money, the rent?
I need one more day, Mrs. Vodney.
You've been saying that for 4 months. You got 3 hours. If you don't come up with my money by 6 o'clock, out in the street you go.
What can I do? Money, this cursed wretchedness. There is one thing I could do. That pawnbroker woman. One blow in the head and it would all be over. I could send back all the jewels to their owners and keep the money, and my sister would not have to marry someone she doesn't love.
What do you want? It's after hours.
No, it's me, don't you remember? I've got a cigarette case I want to pawn. It's solid silver.
Wow. Nice hour to come around with your rubbish. Come in. Let's see this solid silver cigarette case of yours.
Right here in this package.
You look pale, young man, and your hands are trembling.
Fever. You can't help getting pale if you've nothing to eat.
Well, I turn to the window and see this thing.
Sure.
There's more light there.
Go right ahead.
What? There's nothing in this package but a block of wood.
Fooled you, didn't I?
What do you want?
I'm going to kill you.
No!
You hurt people for the last time.
That hammer in your hand. What are you going to do with it?
Kill you.
Don't, please don't!
Yes, who is it?
It's Sonia.
Just a moment. Oh, hello, Sonia.
Forgive me for disturbing you. I wanted to pay back some of the money I borrowed
No,
from...
no need to do that now.
I want to. You were busy. I interrupted
No,
something.
I was washing out some socks and some clothes.
Poor boy. Can I help?
It's all done now.
You forgive me for saying this, but you don't look well.
I've been ill lately.
Haven't you eaten?
No.
Let me get you some food. You're trembling.
I have a fever.
You get into bed. I'll go out and bring you some
No,
soup.
no.
Are you in your room?
Yes?
There's company to see you.
I don't want to see anybody.
You'll see him. Here he is, officer.
Officer.
Okay, you. What's your name?
Rodion Raskolnikov.
Come with me. You're wanted at headquarters.
Why, what for?
You'll find out when you get there. Who's this girl?
Friend of mine, she didn't do anything.
What's your name?
Sonia.
All right. Your friend's under arrest.
Rodion, what do they want you for?
Nothing, Sonia. It's nothing, I promise you.
This way, this door. Here he is, Inspector.
Oh, come in. Well, what's your name?
Rodion Raskolnikov.
Let me see. Oh, yes. It's written right down here in our books. You owe your landlady $100, and you refuse to vacate the premises.
Is that why I'm here? The rent? The rent? I can pay that now. I can pay it.
What's the matter with you?
Hey, Inspector, we got that janitor. Sergeant's with him now. Sergeant thinks he killed the pawnbroker woman.
The janitor, he did it.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Hey, he's probably sick, Inspector. He hasn't eaten.
All right, now, I guess I have a fever. I'm sorry. Can I go now?
Yes, if you'll promise to pay your rent by tomorrow.
I will. I'll get the money.
Oh, just a minute. What did you say your name was?
Raskolnikov.
Raskolnikov. Now I remember. Well, this is an unexpected pleasure. You wrote a very interesting article on crime in the Weekly Review.
Yes.
That right?
Yes, sir.
Very interesting article. The justification of crime.
Thank you.
Yes. You know, maybe you can help us on this murder case.
What murder case?
An old pawnbroker lady was killed today, a well-known character by the name of Ivanovna. And, just a minute. Bring the prisoner in. It's a very happy coincidence that you're here.
Here's the janitor, Inspector.
Please, sir. I don't know anything about that poor woman's murder. I swear it to you.
He's obviously lying. Am I right, Mr. Raskolnikov?
I can't say yet.
Now listen, you.
Yes, sir.
You say you were painting in the empty flat underneath the pawnbroker shop today, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
What time did you finish painting?
About 7 o'clock.
And at 8 o'clock, you tried to sell a diamond crucifix.
Yes, sir.
Where did you get that crucifix?
I found it.
Where?
It was in the hallway near where I was working.
Did you ever see this before?
It's a hammer, but
Look at me! You tied this package tightly, pretending there was something in it you wanted to pawn. While she was bending over trying to untie the knot, you picked up a hammer and struck her over the head. Confess that you killed her.
No! I know nothing about it.
Take him away.
I'm innocent. I'm innocent.
Well, Mr. Raskolnikov, what do you think? Is he guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Not guilty? What makes you think so?
I'm convinced of it.
I have enough on him to send him to the gallows.
You're not going to send an innocent man to the gallows.
Why not? I've got a perfect record so far. I can mark this case closed.
What about your conscience afterwards?
Oh, why should I bother with a conscience? Let the murderer suffer from his conscience.
Then two people will be suffering. The murderer and this innocent man.
Have you forgotten your article on crime? You said, if I recall, that there are two kinds of people. Ordinary and extraordinary. The extraordinary man has special privileges. He has a right to kill and ought to be forgiven. Well, I'm forgiving him. The case is closed.
No murderer should ever be forgiven. If a murderer has a conscience, he will suffer for his mistake. That will be his punishment.
You're changing, Mr. Raskolnikov.
Yes, I'm changing.
Extraordinary. Yes. Most extraordinary, I should say. Well, that's all for now.
You mean I can go?
Why not? I'm done with you. Good day.
You are listening, ladies and gentlemen, to the Philip Morris Playhouse on Broadway, presenting the Philip Morris Intercollegiate Acting Competition and bringing you Crime and Punishment, starring Charlton Heston with Everett Sloane, and tonight college star number 10, Beverly Montrond of Hunter College, and this is your Philip Morris host, Charles Martin. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Don Briggs with some advance information most everyone is interested in.
Well, Charles, it's not exactly advance information. It is, however, a question about the future that is important to millions of people. It is this: how can a smoker know in advance that he will wake up in the morning fresh, with a clear taste and a clean, comfortable throat? How about you? Can you smoke for pleasure today, with no cigarette hangover tomorrow? Well, the simple fact is, you can, if you smoke Philip Morris. And the reason Philip Morris gives you this big smoking advantage is because Philip Morris is made differently from any other leading brand. And that difference is your guarantee of everything you've ever wanted in a cigarette: tasty mildness, rich flavor, pleasant aroma, and no cigarette hangover. Yes, tomorrow morning is the true test of your cigarette. So remember, change to Philip Morris, and you'll know in advance that you will enjoy more smoking pleasure today with no cigarette hangover tomorrow. And that's an extra pleasure, an extra smoking advantage only Philip Morris smokers share. So call for Philip Morris, America's most enjoyable cigarette. And now back to the Philip Morris Playhouse on Broadway, starring Charlton Heston with Everett Sloane and presenting the Philip Morris Intercollegiate Acting Competition. Introducing for the first time on the air, Beverly Montrond of Hunter College playing Sonia in Crime and Punishment.
That girl Sonia's here, Inspector.
Oh, have her come right in.
Why am I here?
Well, you see, a woman, a pawnbroker named Ivanovna, was murdered a week ago. Now, according to this entry in her book, you visited her. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
And at what time was this?
About 7 o'clock?
Are these the articles you pawned?
Yes, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I'm looking for work.
While you were doing business with the pawnbroker, did you notice anyone else?
Why, yes. There was a man who came to pawn a watch while I was there.
A man? Can you describe him?
Why, yes. His name is Rodion.
Oh, do you know him well?
We've become friends. I dropped $1 and he helped me find it. And then he gave me some money for my father's funeral.
Ah, generous, eh?
Yes, sir. It was the nicest thing any man ever did for me.
How often have you seen him since then?
Well, only once, sir, when I went to thank him for the money.
So you know where he lives?
Yes.
And you did see him after the murder?
Yes, sir.
Funny, but He paid his landlady the rent the day after the woman was killed. And before that, he had no money.
Inspector, you don't think
That I suspect your friend? Oh, no, of course not.
He's no murderer, Inspector. He's too kind and good. He's an extraordinary man.
Funny you should say that. He is an extraordinary man. You may go now, Sonia.
Thank you. Come in. Oh, hello.
Sonia, listen, what did the inspector want to know? They're following me.
Who?
The police.
Why? What have you done? What are you afraid of?
Nothing. Sonia, did you tell the inspector about meeting me at the pawnbroker's?
Yes, I told him.
What? What did you tell him?
Well, only about the money you gave me. But I didn't say anything to involve you.
Involve me? What makes you think I could possibly become involved?
You didn't kill her. Did you?
Why do you ask?
You're fine. You're good, I can tell. Come over here by the window. Look at the water. You know, sometimes the water seems full of stars. And then I feel I could let down this bucket and pull up a whole pail full of them.
You are lonely, aren't you?
You are too. Something is troubling you terribly. Won't you tell me what it is?
I wish I could. Just a minute. Someone's standing behind this door. Stand back. I'll see who it is. I thought so. You see that man? He was listening behind the door, and now he's running away. They're shadowing me. I'm going down to see that rotten inspector and settle this once and for all.
Mr. Raskolnikov is here.
Show him in. Ah, what brings you here, Rodion?
Why are you having me followed? What do you want?
I'm not having you followed.
Then you no longer connect me with this amateurish crime.
Oh, please put the thought out of your mind once and for all. I don't hound a man I think is guilty.
What do you do with him?
I leave him alone.
Why?
I let him brood. If I arrest him too soon, I might lose more evidence. I know he's caught and he can't escape me.
Couldn't he leave the city?
Where could he go? Have you ever seen a butterfly around a candle? That's how he'll keep circling and circling round me, getting nearer and nearer. And then, flop! He'll fly straight into my mouth and I'll swallow him.
Excuse me, Inspector, but the janitor finally broke. He just confessed.
He what? Bring him in.
Come in here, you.
I confess. I'm guilty. I'm the murderer.
You're lying. You didn't kill her.
Yes, I tied those knots, I tell you. I hit her on the head with a hammer. I killed her. Why torture me anymore? Why?
Oh, why, you idiot. You didn't even know about it until we arrested you. Take him away.
Yes, Inspector.
Oh, dear. Well, I didn't expect this.
Good work, Inspector. What a triumph. First you make him confess, and then you try to make him believe he's innocent. Marvelous police department.
Well, I'm afraid I'll have to send an innocent man to his death. But it's not my doing. After all, it's yours. He's ordinary, and you're extraordinary. You know, I'm sorry for you. I wouldn't be in your shoes for anything in the world.
I must talk to you, Sonia. I may never see you again.
You're going away?
Yes.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
Well, then why?
Because I'm free now.
Free from what?
From the police. They suspected me of murder, but that's all over now. Sonia, come away with me. Let's leave all this. We'll get out into the open where there's space.
Did they find the guilty man?
He confessed this morning.
Who was it?
The janitor who worked in the house. Why all these questions? Don't you believe me?
No, Rodion.
Sonia. Sonia,
You shouldn't kneel to me.
Sonia, listen, darling. I killed her. I killed her. Have mercy on me.
Oh, no. Why did you do it?
I was mad, Sonia. I was mad.
Oh.
What shall I do now?
I don't know what to tell you. Because you have no faith.
And if I did have faith?
Then I would tell you to confess and atone for what you've done.
Confess to the police?
Yes, how else can you save the man who's being punished instead of you?
Confess to the police and rot in prison? Is that fool's life so valuable to you?
It's his life. You've no right to take it away from him.
Why do you think of him? Why don't you think of me?
I am thinking of you. You can't carry such a burden. It'll be a greater punishment than any law can give you. You couldn't stand it.
I'll get used to it. I'm not as weak as you think. I was strong enough to commit the crime. I'll be strong enough to live with it, Sonia. I love you. Will you let me kiss you before I go?
No, Rodion. Do you want me to say that it's no sin to destroy? Oh, all right. Let's go away. I'll help you forget.
Forget?
Everything.
Even the man who's going to be condemned instead of me?
Do you want me to say that he's no man, he's an animal, that it won't make any difference to him? Is that what you want me to say?
You're giving me... You're giving me back my own words, and they're ugly.
You can't do it then, can you?
Well, then maybe you'll wait for me. Maybe one day they'll let me go. Maybe they won't kill me.
I'd wait all my life for you, Rodion.
Inspector, Rodion Raskolnikov and that girl, Sonia, are both outside.
Oh, so? Show them in.
Inspector, is this the man you meant? He wants to say something to you.
Inspector, you told me once that I was sending an innocent man to his death. I've come to free him and free myself.
You are an extraordinary man, Mr. Raskolnikov.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlton Heston and Beverly Montrond. Now, we'll have the decision of our judges in just a moment. But right now, here is a message of interest for every smoker.
Smoke for pleasure today with no cigarette hangover tomorrow. That's the big advantage you enjoy in Philip Morris. Remember, Philip Morris is made differently from any other leading brand. And that difference is your guarantee of everything you've ever wanted in a cigarette. Tasty mildness, rich flavor, pleasant aroma, a clean, refreshing smoke, and no cigarette hangover. Try Philip Morris yourself. You'll be glad tomorrow you smoked Philip Morris today. And now, Charles Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just received the score of our judges enter the American National Theater and Academy. Miss Beverly Montrond, our judges have scored your performance tonight as 94. This is 1 point higher than Shirley Zaub of Brooklyn College, who held the current high, and you will go into the $2,000 grand prize play next week. I suppose you feel mighty wonderful about that.
It's just the biggest thrill of my life.
And for your magnificent job tonight, Philip Morris has asked me to present you with this check for $250.
Thank you. Wonderful help. And my thanks to Philip Morris for giving me this chance.
You're very welcome indeed, Beverly. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, is the big night, the exciting grand finals, when 3 finalists meet for the $2,000 grand prize. They are Charles Schultz of Princeton University, James Garner of the University of Tennessee, and, as you heard tonight, Beverly Montrond of Hunter College. So don't forget the big night next week when these candidates go against one another for the big $2,000 reward. Until then, this is Charles Martin saying, Next time you visit your tobacco dealer, ask for Philip Morris. It's America's most enjoyable cigarette.
Ho for Philip Morris! Ho for Philip Morris!
This is the CBS Radio Network.